Of course, this is our focus tonight as we x-ray the concerns about violence in the Niger Delta State during election. Joining me in the studio are two gentlemen. I have the Secretary General, Ijo Youth Council, Alfred Kemapodu. I think I got it this time.
Kemapodu.
Kemapodu. That name is jaw-breaking. Welcome to Democracy
Thanks
Today.
for having me.
And a retired U.S. Army Captain, Bish Johnson. Welcome to Democracy Today.
Thank you.
Yes, let's first of all go to the issue of the Niger Delta, which you represent a particular ethnic group. We've had so many complaints, and even the protests that we saw just now coming from the southern part of Nigeria, calling on the military not to, or calling on INEC not to deploy military to the southern state. But have you forgotten that if you don't have security operatives, what happened in Lagos may still play out in some of the states?
Security is different from deploying the military to rain carnage on our people. You remember that some time ago I came on this show and I told you how the military went into a community called Oluwasiri in Nimbe in search of criminals that we are yet to see today, and in the process, precisely on July 7th, 2018, and they shot to death a lady and a baby. I told you about that. You see, for a while now, the Niger Delta has been under serious state violence. If the president and the military authorities are not aware of this, I want to abundantly say it so that they can understand that we are under a period of state violence, which is what was played out abundantly in the elections that we just had. In the elections that we had, from the reports available to me and from the few I have seen, just in Abonima alone, we lost over 25 youths to the bullets of the military.
In River State?
In River State. That's an Ijaw territory. You know, by my position as Secretary General, whatever happens on Ijaw man anywhere, any day, any time concerns me. You come to Bayelsa State, you have valid reports of how a photographer, a professional attached to government house, or wherever he may have been attached to, with his friend or his brother Taribi in the house, the military went in, from the reports we have, and shot them for reasons we are yet to understand.
But these are allegations. Do you have proof that they were shot by the military?
Well, you have just said they are allegations, and I have told you here that these are the reports we have from those who were on site. You understand? And we have also seen the military act in a manner that validated their allegations. I hope you saw when some few people were interrogated live on Nigerian Television Authority, and we saw military men slapping people live on Nigerian television. So you can't deny the brazen, the fierceness with which our people have been undermined. But far and beyond that, even in the electoral process, we are taught that the military will be in the outer ring of the electoral process. But what has happened within these Niger Delta states, we have seen the military almost act like electoral officers, intimidating our people.
Did you go out to vote on that day?
I went out to vote.
And you saw military?
I didn't just saw military. I saw in short, just in my community, I saw almost a platoon of soldiers. And they can't deny it. My community, I come from two communities that are together, Agbere and Odoni. I saw a platoon of soldiers. Yes, we agree that soldiers could have been deployed for one or two security reasons, but not to come and intimidate our people to the point of interfering with the electoral process. That, for me, at any point in time, is a shame. But what gets us even more sad is that in areas where we had problems that one had even cried out for security interventions, the military, from the reports we have, is even seemingly ignoring or aiding political talks. By this, you know, I always tell you that by the position I hold, I hate to go into the politics of issues. So I don't care whether.
But when you use language like ignoring, aiding, you are directly accusing the military.
I am directly accusing, and I'm responsible for that direct accusation. And this is what I mean by that. You see, let me tell you something. In Bayelsa State, where I come from, like many other places, there has been this cry about the siege of a particular community called Basambri in Nimbe. Now, I am not saying a particular party should win there or a particular party should lose there, let there be free and fair elections that will be conducted in an atmosphere that people are not intimidated. And there has been cries by the state government and even indigenes of that place. You may have read it time without number that there is civilian carnage that is going on and that needs the military intervention. But when I say they are aiding, sometimes you see when you see military formations around a particular place and such carnage is taking place and the military is not providing solution to such carnage, you now begin to ask two questions. Is it that the military has lost the capacity to take care of a problem in such small community that may not be larger than this Asokoro? Or what else are they doing? So if they are not living up to their responsibility as the professional military that we are all proud of to take care of such situations, then the opposite is what it is. It means directly or indirectly, they are aiding the perpetuation of such violence. I am not saying this to the advantage of any party, and I will not. But what we are saying is that at appropriate time and at appropriate places that we need the help of the military to bring about calm and peace, they have always been found wanting. Then you take the Abonima case, for instance. Rumors have it that some boys attacked their soldiers. That's why they went into the community and they need to gun down innocent young men. And I begin to ask the question.
The story I heard about that Abonima issue has to do with exchange of words or exchange of, I don't want to call it bullets, between militants and the military.
So if there is exchange of gun between a militant, a criminal, or however you want to describe it, between the military and you, why don't you go after the criminals? Why don't you go after those militants, hound them and arrest them, or whatever the law prescribes for you to do at that particular point in time? What's your business is going into the communities and raging it on innocent youths and civilians? Let me ask you a question. If that is what it is, Ibisiki, the lady that was killed in Degema, not in Abonima, what did she do? That was a lady, a mother of two. Was she killed
by the military?
That's the report we are having.
Was it the military or a stray bullet?
A stray bullet from where? Who has the bullet? These are things that we expect the military. See, let me tell you something. We are talking about human life. And when the humanity of people comes here, I expect everybody, including the president and everybody, to tower it above politics. Because it could have been happening to any person. So when we say these are the things that are happening, like I've come here and whenever people will come and ask, where is the proof? So tomorrow they can come and bust my head and walk away and tell me where is the proof. That is not how it is. We have the military and the police and everybody around that place to create this security for us not to experience this kind of issues. But just inches away from them, you are experiencing these things and you are seeing men in military uniform, well dressed, and the military over time, every time, is not even coming up with any reports that can convincingly tell any of us here that this is not them. So what we are expecting from them now is to come up tomorrow that they are not soldiers or they are unknown soldiers. That is not how it's supposed to be. If not, tomorrow they can burst into any person's house, kill somebody and tell you it's unknown soldiers. That's not how it's supposed to be. And you know one other thing you also asked me. You said if there was an exchange between the military.
Now, talking about security in the Niger Delta, it seems that these two political parties in the state, the rival political parties, let me use that word, probably eating up the polity, because in your state, for example, places like Brass, Basambri, Nembe, there are contestation in these two areas, and the people there may run away on Saturday because they don't want to die. How then are you people saying it?
I didn't get your question.
No, the problem in Bayelsa now is that area. Why some are saying elections didn't hold there, but the others are saying there was an election and people died in the process of the argument.
Let me answer your question with what the resident electoral commissioner of INEC said yesterday in Bayelsa, the Bayelsa INEC. He said that 63 card readers were stolen. And he has even declared amnesty for those who stole them to bring them back. That's number one. Out of the 63 card readers, 24 plus 24, which is 48, is missing from that access. So let us now ask ourselves, are the card readers missing in a normal situation? Because card readers, according to the INEC report, card readers, about 2 were missing from Ward 6 and Ward 1 in another local government called Sagbama. Because the card readers were missing, and because of the report they had leading to the loss of those card readers, those wards were cancelled. Okay. And those reports are reports of violence. So you now begin to ask yourself a question. The 24 card readers, the 24 plus 24, which is 48 card readers that are missing from these areas, that they didn't find INEC, but they declared results. On what basis did they even declare the results? Because for their card readers to miss, they would have heard reports from their collation officers and whatever staff they sent there that there was violence. Let me tell you something, Ijoma. If there is anything I fear to do now, is to dabble into the politics of this matter. I am here to protect human life. Now, let me finally say this. Those card readers are missing as a result of the violence that took place there, that even the INEC officials could not sustain. Let us not play this politics. We are all Nigerians. Today it may be you. Tomorrow it's another's. And you don't know whose head it will fall on. So it saddens me because of the position I occupy in Ijaw Nation today. I'm not expected to be partisan, even if anybody wants to color me based on his selfish angle. The lives of Ijaw people matters. I don't care where a PDP wins or an APC wins. What I'm saying here is, where there is violence, where there is brigandage, where there is criminality, if it's a PDP criminal, arrest him. If it's an APC criminal, arrest him. You saw in this studio, you published it, a deputy commissioner of police was stripped in that area. Yes, nobody has even asked what happened to the people around him, because deputy commissioners of police don't move alone.
Talking about that,
let us take it easy.
Yes, talking about that, the former governor of Bayelsa State, Temipre Silva, had denied the allegation that he was responsible for some of the violence in that part of the state. He denied that he sponsored thug into Braz and Basambri in Nembe in February 23 post. The former governor also explained the reason behind their holding back the INEC official. Let's listen to him.
What happened in Braz, for example, was that he sent the DCP of police, I don't know what arrangements they had, to go and move materials during collation. When they saw that they were not winning, they asked for all the electoral materials to be moved from Braz to Yenagoa in the middle of collation. And of course, everybody smelt a rat. They felt that foul play was intended. And of course, the young men who were around the place decided to take their destiny in their own hands by arresting the DCP and insisting that they will not allow him to move with those materials in the middle of collation. And if he was kidnapped, how much ransom was paid? To the collation center. They were very desperate to win. I don't know, for whatever reason. The collation center was attacked twice by gunmen. You can ask. It was Dixon's thugs that attacked the collation center twice. Even the INEC official, the AEO, injured herself because when she had gunshots, she was running and hit her head on the wall. That's very unfair, because you have to win at all costs. First, let me just tell you how desperate he was. First, he sent the deputy commissioner of police to go and move the materials to Yenagoa. When that failed, he sent gunmen to go and attack the collation center. The gunmen went twice. They shot everybody to cover because the security told everybody to take cover. The gunmen left, came back again, attacked again before they were repelled. That was the second effort. When that failed, he now recourse to the protest that you saw. There was no problem in Brass, not one problem. He lost fairly and squarely. When he realized that he had lost, he wanted to stop the collation, first and foremost, by sending that DCP to go and move the materials, attack the collation center, and then, of course, he went on a full-blown protest. If I wanted to also send out my people, because my people were clamoring to also protest, but I realized that in the interest of peace, I had to tell my people to stay indoors. Because I say, look, if they also came out, there will be fire in Yenagoa. So you see, the boys smelt a rat. And they started calling themselves. And I think it was just spontaneous. What they did was just to stop the policeman from going with the materials. I don't want to judge that action at all. Because in that kind of provocation, people can act spontaneously. And I think that's what happened. Nobody planned to kidnap a policeman. And the policeman was released as soon as the materials were returned. Nobody demanded any ransom. So you must understand the meaning of kidnap. They themselves, for fear of reprisal, left the community that night. A few of their leaders, the House of Assembly member, one Honorable Ngo Iwoware, and other leaders, two or three leaders, left the community. Of course, they still thought they were going to win. But the next day, they saw that they were not winning. So they now decided to start this rumor that there was no election in Basambri. The election should be cancelled and redone so that they will have a chance of coming to the community and be part of that election. But it doesn't work that way. The election has held. Because you see, what happens in Bayelsa is that any commissioner of police that doesn't agree to work openly and closely with them is considered to be a commissioner of police loyal to me. So if they try to influence a commissioner and he doesn't agree, then suddenly he's working with me.
All right, the former governor of Bayelsa State talking about giving his own side of the story on what happened on the day of election, February 23. Now, he has accused the governor of Bayelsa, Timipre Silva, of deploying thugs. That accusation, do you want to say it is right?
Firstly, let me say, Timipre Silva is former governor of the state and is a member of the All Progressive Congress. Oh, sorry,
he accused Dixon of deploying thugs.
No worries, yes. Okay. Timipre Silva is former governor of state and a member of the All Progressive Congress. Dixon is current governor of the state, a member of the People Democratic Party. My appeal to Timipre Silva and his followership is that this regular exchange of tantrums, privately and publicly, is not helping our state. That they belong to two political parties doesn't really make them enemies. They can actually work together to prosper the state. Each of them bringing the goodies from where they represent. I want to establish that. And I am taught to respect people of his status.
But that's
But
lying.
now, coming
That's
to your
lying,
question,
yes.
which is what I have said here. When you come to national television and say, it is Dixon's talks, the questions are, so talks came printed shirts wrote on their head, "We are from Dixon." Oh, how do you define thugs that are Dixon's thugs? Let me further ask you a question, and let me also ask Nigerians. During the primaries of the All Progressive Congress that took place in 2015 or so, the one that led to the last governorship election in Bayelsa, a sitting governor of Edo State was allegedly kidnapped
in that same Bayelsa.
In that same Bayelsa, in a Congress.
That's the national chairman of the party.
Good. That governor is currently the national chairman of the party, whose thugs kidnapped that man, whose thugs handled him fiercely to the extent that he had to call for reinforcement from the army headquarters to come and rescue him. Were they Dixon's thugs? You see, I am not saying this to vilify anybody. I am saying that this is the first time I will even call his name on national TV. Please, Governor Timipri Silva, former, come and build our Bayelsa together. And one of the ways you can build it together is join the government in power today and the government in power any day, any time, to ensure that these vices such as say we won't conduct election for Bayelsa or any Ijola, person must die, boys must wield gun. And I heard him that boys held a DCP to ransom, a deputy commissioner of police. So they had the option of holding the materials. Now we have so developed to the extent of stripping a deputy commissioner of police. We have not talked about probably the men that came with the deputy commissioner of police. So for former Governor Timipri Silva, I love him because he is fine. But this brand of politics will not help the generations that are looking up to them. And I am among the generation that is also looking up to them. Because when you come to our environment, you have a whole lot of negativity that is almost becoming a norm. We're expecting people like him, irrespective of what is lost in the process, to stand up, condemn, and ostracize those activities. If we are saying there is a siege, there was something he said, and I commend the people of Brass publicly today. Brass was one of the places where I thought there would be a lot of violence. But during the voting process, there was peace in Brass. Whoever lost or whoever won, it's not my business. The most important thing is that it's an Ijaw person. It's a Bayelsan. But at the point of collation, a deputy commissioner of police was embarrassed and stripped like that. So you now begin to ask, what would have become of the ordinary man who doesn't have a pen knife? So this is not what any of us should pride in. I am begging him. This brand of politics destroys our future, and his children belongs to my generation or the generation after me. So this legacy is when you leave them. It may not haunt you now, but it may haunt you tomorrow. I respect him as I am trained to respect elders from my state. I will respect him. I will respect every elder statesman, every former governor. I even regret that I have to reply him on national television. But this has to be said, and we need to reshape our state. You see, APC can win, PDP can win. That's not the point. So let's not begin to say, so Dixon's thugs, your governor.
All right. Alfred, now we have exhausted our time, but I would like you to tell us your parting words.
Well, I want INEC to play a major role in creating a more peaceful election by strengthening our institutions. Number one, everywhere in the Niger Delta, that is where I speak for, I want to appeal to INEC that when you spot any form of violence, cancel the elections and let it not hold. You know why? When people trade violence and get results, it now becomes an incentive for them in a coming election. So we need to graduate to the point where if you hear any form of violence, just like the way INEC, if you hear Pakam, exactly, cancel it and ensure there is security. Because let me tell you something. President Buhari for now has won a re-election. But with the coming elections and even the future elections, he still has a responsibility to bequeath to us an electoral system that is credible, that we can be proud of. If that is the only thing he can give to this country. He has given to this country everything. So that within that process, we can weed out all of these brigandages. We can't have one boy thinking that even carry gun, go shoot a community, take all the ballot boxes, and use a dumb card reader, as my friend would say, and thumbprint everything below the voters register. It can declare a result. When that stands today, it will now sustain it. It will now become an incentive for people to perpetuate and accentuate such violence.
All right.
So INEC
Mr. Alfred, we don't have that time. I need to. Now, thank you, gentlemen, for being a part of this program. I would like to say a big thank you to the Secretary General of the Ijo Youth Council, Alfred Akmema. Thank you for coming on the program. I'd also like to say thank you to the retired U.S. Army Captain Bish Johnson. Thank you too for being a part of the program.
Thank you.
And this is where we say thank you for also joining us on the program. Tomorrow it's another day. You just join us at 7 p.m. We'll be back with another episode of the program. Tweet at me at EJ Osamo. Good night.